Joining us now is Alex Shephard, reporter from the New Republic. Great to see you. How are you, Alex?
I'm well, thank you.
So what has the reaction been like in the US regarding these tightened gun restrictions?
Well, I mean, the tightened gun restrictions are mostly happening in blue states like New York, where I am right now. In red states, you still have this sort of more laissez-faire attitude towards gun laws that you've had for quite some time. And I think in general that highlights the same issue that we faced after these mass shootings, and going back really to Sandy Hook. That was the last time that there was sort of major momentum behind changing national gun laws, and nothing happened then. And I think what you see when you talk to a lot of people here is, and quite frankly, a lot of people both involved in these discussions and in the Biden administration itself is a larger sense of inertia and a sense of cynicism about the fate of these discussions. So here in New York, it's possible that there were gun laws passed here after Sandy Hook, which is I believe in 2013. Now again, they've raised the age for buying an assault rifle. But from a national sense, I think that there's quite a lot of cynicism even after I think the quite fiery speech that President Biden gave last night.
Let's turn to other news, Alex. And Elon Musk, Tesla's CEO, has come out saying that he has a super bad feeling about the economy and as a result needs to cut about 10% of staff at the electric car maker. What are you hearing?
I mean, with this is just another part of Elon Musk's wild ride in 2022. I think if you look at Tesla's stock price, you may see the real answer for why this is happening. And it's lost, I think, about 40% of its value since the start of the year, partly because of Musk's kind of extracurricular interests and pending acquisition of Twitter. So, I mean, it may very well be serious. I think there is quite a lot of unease about where the economy is headed at the moment, and yet the jobs numbers that were posted today were quite strong. I think there were fears of the U.S. entering into a recession sometime this year, or even, frankly, imminently. But we're not quite seeing that yet, and it does seem like it is further off. Musk, I think, is prone to making bold pronouncements, but I do think that if there are going to be cutbacks at Tesla, it'll say more about the stock price of that company at the moment and less about the current state of the U.S. economy.
You mentioned a possible recession, jobs looking quite strong at this stage. How concerned is the Biden government about gas and food prices?
I think they're quite concerned about it. The problem is that they don't know what to do about it. I don't think, even talking to most experts, there isn't a lot of consensus on what the administration can do. Biden did write an op-ed for the Wall Street Journal highlighting that he wants to make sure that the Federal Reserve has independence, that he wants to be prepared to sort of work to fight, inflation, and particularly in gas prices. The administration is not really focusing on expanding production, but that is partly because most experts don't say that would say that probably wouldn't bring down prices anyways. I think their hands are really tied on this issue in a lot of ways. It's obviously a global problem relating in part to the war in Ukraine. There are also other issues with corporate profiteering. And then again, too, there's probably also some overheating post-COVID that happened as well. But I think in general, I think that they feel like they're trying to do as much as they can, but quite frankly, it seems like there isn't quite a lot that they can do. Gas prices here remain stubbornly high. In California, they're as high as $8 a gallon. Here in New York, they're about $5 a gallon.
And there are talks that President Joe Biden, well, he publicly acknowledged on Friday that he may travel to Saudi Arabia soon. What are you hearing on that situation?
I mean, this has been Biden's focus as his administration has been in this rut over the last 6 months or so. He's shifted more and more towards foreign policy. I mean, he's highlighted in large part his efforts in Ukraine, but I think you've also seen trips to Southeast Asia, and this trip to the Middle East, I think, is part of that as well. I think it's also, again, part of the administration's larger effort of trying to at least communicate to the American people that they're taking high gas prices seriously. They're trying to bring these prices down before the midterm elections. Now, they haven't had much traction in doing this, particularly with OPEC and with Saudi Arabia in particular. There have been efforts to try to get them to expand production that haven't quite worked out yet. But I do think that this is part of the larger strategy of, if not doing something concrete, at least making the case to the American people that they're taking these issues seriously after, frankly, for several months, not really seeming to take them seriously. And in fact, many administration officials were labeling the inflation that we've experienced since last fall as transitory. Now, Janet Yellen and other administration officials are admitting that this inflation is not transitory. That may be here for quite a while longer. But what we're not quite getting yet is the sense of what exactly they're going to do about it, or for that matter, high gas prices.
And turning to COVID, there's news out that there could be a possible link to the new Novavax vaccine. They've done trials on about 30,000 people. There was 4 cases that were presented with myocarditis. Is this going to be, big news moving forward for those people that have been hesitant to use other types of vaccines?
This is one of the big questions. There's been a huge effort, particularly within the administration, to try and convince people who are not vaccinated to get the vaccine, partly as a way, the pandemic has been very stubborn here, in part because of the comparably low vaccination rates within the United States. But I think, there's a big question of if it's the question of the actual safety of the vaccines that's causing this hesitancy, or if it is cultural or political issues. And I don't think we're quite clear on that. I think more vaccines, particularly safer vaccines, will be more effective in convincing some people. But as with gun control and other issues in this country, I think there's quite a high degree of cynicism at the moment that we can transcend these kind of partisan disagreements and get people to actually take any action.
All right, we'll really appreciate your time and expertise. Alex Shephard, reporter from the New Republic. Take care and we'll chat to you soon.
Thank you.